Let's try question number A58. How many integer values are there for k for which 4x squared plus kxy minus 9y squared is factorable? So this is similar to a factoring question. So we recall when we're using factoring that we use the rainbow method. We multiply 4 times this last term. Let's focus on the numbers. 4 times negative 9 is equals to negative 36. So this negative 36 is going to be used to calculate the different possibilities. Something times something must equals negative 36. Let's follow this pattern. If you break down the factors, 1 times 36 is equals to 36. And then 2 times 18 is 36. 3 times 12 is 36. 4 times 9 is 36, and 6 times 6 is 36. To get negative 36, we're going to stick a negative sign in front over here. And recall the middle term is determined by adding these numbers. So two numbers multiply to be the last value, and we're using this rainbow trick. Yet when we add the numbers, it becomes the middle terms, the k value. So let's add 36 and negative 1. We get 35, we get 16, we get 9, 5, and 0. So let's repeat this process. And this time we're going to move the negative signs to the right here. There are other variations of this question. You should be careful to work out every possibility, because this question here is particularly tricky, because what ends up happening is 6 minus 6 is 0, and we have two zeros here. We don't count these k values twice. So if you add negative 36, positive 1 becomes negative 36. Notice how each of these answers are very similar, except the signs are switched. So in terms of how many integer values there are, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 2, almost, minus 1, because we don't count zeros as two different k values. So there are 9 different k values here in this question. So just to give you a little bit better feel for why this is similar to a factoring question, what I did here in the green is that I'm rewriting this question here as this without the coefficient using the rainbow method. 4 times negative 9 is negative 36, and notice how, remember, we start factoring, and we have a possibility here, negative 1 and positive 36 listed here, the first choice. And when we FOIL, we multiply the last two things to generate this number here, which is fine, it works out, and we do the outside and the inside to determine the middle term, which is going to be kxy. What we have here is, and by the way, there would be a y here, which is fine. We're not worrying about the y's for now, but if we have a y here, y times y is y squared. This ends up being the same thing. But what we have here is 36xy minus 1xy, which is 35. So you can see that the k value here is actually being produced by this pattern. So we're just omitting these details so that we can do this question faster. Once you recognize this question, what it's asking for, we can do it quite quickly using this method we just did. Now we really should practice some more of these questions. One thing to note is that some of these questions, depending on whether this sign here is negative or positive, it may or may not change the answer. Sometimes this last choice is counted, and sometimes the plus minus signs does matter, and sometimes it doesn't.